Okay, here's all the cards. 6-deck Blackjack. Dealer stands on all 17s. No surrender. Blackjack pays 3-2. Testing the 1-3-2-6 betting system against flat betting. It's the next one here in our series. At the end, there will be a summary. If you've been following along, you know that I show you first all the cards so that you can see they're all there. I show you the full shuffle so that you know that I'm not fixing the deck. That I'm not trying to promote any betting system or gambling in general. Just trying to see if there's anything that you can do to beat the house edge. People will argue that I'm not doing enough hands to do a proper simulation compared to perhaps what a computer simulation would do that can run millions of hands in a few seconds. But my counter argument to that is, when are you going to have the opportunity to sit down and play millions of hands? So they say that no betting system will beat the house edge in the long run. They might be right, because their computer said so. So we're trying to test it with real cards. And I think it's going fairly well so far. Doing 1 6-deck shoe a day. At the end of 7, we'd sit down and do a summary. We're getting at least 45 hands per shoe. While that's certainly not, I will agree that that's certainly not enough to have a scientific result, it should start to give us some insight. I'm going to continue to use my automatic card shuffler. I think it really helps me out a lot. Kind of speeds things up, keeps me from bending my cards. Because God forbid I mess up my fancy Dollar Tree cards. That's why they're blue and red. They come 2 in a pack. But they work. You don't play the back of the card, so it doesn't matter. They're decent cards, really, for 50 cents a pack. Well, 50 cents a deck. Anyways, while I'm getting set up here, the 1-3-2-6 betting system is a positive progressive betting system. The way it works is this: your opening bet, your first bet, is a single unit. Your next bet, if you win, I should say, your next bet would be 3 units. If you win again, your next bet is 2 units. And if you win again, your next bet would be 6 units. If that wins, you go back down to a single unit, starting the cycle all over. So when we're playing this, we're using chips, but we consider them units. That way you can scale this up to whatever table you're playing at. If you're playing at a $5 table, then 1 unit is $5. So for 1-3-2-6, you'd be looking at a first wager of $5. second wager, assuming you won, of $15. If you win again, the next wager is $10. And the last wager of the cycle would be $30. So 1, 3, 2, 6, or 5, 15, 10, 30. Anytime you lose, you go back to a single unit wager and start the cycle all over. The way that we've been playing, a push repeats the last bet. So if you had one consecutive win and you're up to a bet of 3 units, and that hand is a push, your next bet would still be 3 units. Things like double downs or splits where you win more than one hand, and blackjacks too. Anytime you win more than your, those bonus payouts, still counts as just a single consecutive win, and you move to the next wager in the sequence, and you get to keep that as a bonus. So as that, this system is not perfectly tuned for blackjack. Paroli suffers from a similar, disparity. But that's okay. People still use it. People still consider using it. Okay, that's the shuffle. Ooh, that's close. Okay, these are our cut cards. They are the joker cards that came with the deck that came with that automatic shuffler. They work just fine. Okay, we will simulate a player cutting the deck right there. Bring that around. And then we will go for as close as we can to about 75% penetration. Like I said, that's been getting us at least 45 hands. I do keep track as we go along, and I'll kind of let you know every 10 hands or so who's in the lead. Each betting system here is playing on the same hand. This is 50 chips for the flat better, and on this side is 50 chips for the 1, 3, 2, 6 system better. Slide those up there. Or 50 units. So if you're playing at a $5 table, it's like you came to the table with $250, which might be a little bit more than you might usually come to a table with. I don't know. That's up to you. Some people just, you'll buy in for, at a $5 table, you can buy in for 100. We haven't really gotten that deep yet into the stacks. Anyways, I'll keep talking as we go along, like I always do, and then I'll confuse myself. This time, though, I will remember to burn the first card. There it goes. Sometimes I forget. Okay. Here we go. Rolling. A 9 to a 10 takes a card. That's a 12. Keeps hitting. 19. 16. 24. Deal or bust. That's a nice start. It's always nice to win your first hand in the shoe. Don't you think? Okay, so with that, 1, 3, 2, 6 needs to pull out another chip from the stack to bring the next wager up to 3. $14 to a 6 stands. 16, 19. By the way, we will play by perfect basic strategy, back down to a single unit for the 1, 3, 2, 6 player, which you can find just about anywhere. I use the one from Wizard of Odds. I have that over here on the side in case I get confused. 15 to an 8 takes a card. 22. 18. In case I need to reference it, because there's times when I forget, and it's best if I take a look. I think that everybody should take the card with them to the tables. 20 stands. 18. Sorry, 18. Got ahead of myself there. No, I wasn't peeking, I just misspoke. Yeah, everybody should take the card with them. Again, 1, 3, 2, 6 brings out another chip, bringing the wager to 3. It just helps. And in fact, I wish more people would take the card with them. Oh my God, the things that people do, you see them. Just follow the strategy. That way you won't mess up the table. 12, let me check. 12 to a 10 takes a card. 15 keeps going. 22. 18. You know, when you're playing with other, people are superstitious. So when you're playing with other people and you're doing stupid things, that are outside of strategy, people get upset with you because you quote unquote, mess up the flow of the cards. 12 to a 7 takes a hit. Too many. 17. Because you'll mess up the flow of the cards. If you follow basic strategy and things, don't work out, people almost never get upset. Because they don't really have a leg to stand on at that point. 18 stands. 4, 14, 21. For example, hitting a 12 to a dealer 3, people don't like that. People don't like to do that. They don't usually stop you from doing it, but they'll look at you funny. And then if you somehow take, especially if you're playing third base, you take the dealer's bust card. 18 to a 5 stands. 7, 16, too many. 26. They'll blame you. Or maybe that might not be the best example, but I'm sure if you've played, you've seen this sort of thing. Again, bringing out another chip, bringing the wager up to 3. This choppy action, by the way, is very hard, very bad for this progressive system. It's even worse so than it is for Paroli. But that's how it goes. 9 doubles down. Single card. 19. 11. 18. So anyways, if you're playing by the book, by the, basic strategy, you at least have that to back you up. That what you're doing, has been vetted and makes sense. Okay, so that's, even though that you won basically 2 wagers of 3, your next bet goes down to 2 for following the 1, 3, 2, 6 system. That win was very helpful. Gets you back pretty much even. Yeah, you're back. You're actually, both players who pulled these bets off are both even. Both at 50 units. So, and this is the 10th hand. 12 to 6 stands. 8, 11, 21. So yeah, that's 10 hands. First 10. Point of all my rambling there, single units, is 1, play by basic strategy. 2, take the card. Print the cards. 13 to an 8 takes a card. 20. 18. Print for both dealer hits on soft 17 and dealer stands on all 17s. Just in case, because there's just slight little differences. Again, bringing out another chip, bringing the wager up to 3 units for the 1, 3, 2, 6 system. 17 stands. 9, 20. Also, take, if you suspect that there might be single or double deck games available, take those cards too. They're a little bit different. 20 stands. 15. 21. Anyways, enough about the card. I trust you. You're going to take it and you're going to use it. Alright. Pair of aces. Splits. Single card on each. No resplit. Pretty common. That's not a blackjack. That's just 21. Blackjack is only the first two cards. Before I make a mistake, soft 16 to a 10 hits. 16 hits again. 18. 20. So this one's a loss. This one's a push. Sorry, this one's a win. Okay. Oh, that's what I meant to say was overall you're at a push. One win, one lose. One chip back to each. Repeat the bet. You're at the beginning of the cycle anyways. 18, no, it doesn't, either way. Push. I forgot the ace check there. Didn't really matter. Repeat the bet again. 14 to a 5 stands. 7, 16, 21. Single units. 13 stands. 7, 10, 12. Too many. 22. Make you nervous? Again, bringing out another chip, bringing the wager to 3 for the 1, 3, 2, 6. You have yet to complete the cycle, huh? This system really relies on you getting all the way to winning the 6. Insurance, of course not. Insurance closed. 14 hits. 24. Back down to 1. Choppy action is really bad, really hard on this system. Okay, insurance again. Nope, insurance closed. 11. This is the one situation where 11 will not double down, is to an ace. 13 hits again. Too many. 22. You were screwed no matter what. Do you hate that? Sometimes some hands just can't be won. Alright. There you go. Picture? Good enough? One and a half. Get on there. 1 and a half. That is a quarter representing a half a bet. A half a unit. Doesn't matter that it's a quarter. Just matters that it's something. I could use a penny. It'd all work out the same. That's a win. So the 1, 3, 2, 6 is moving up to 3. That was also the second set of 10. So that's 20 hands down. We're approaching halfway. Ace check. 14 hits. 18. 15. 20. And we're seeing more of this win 1, lose 3 action. Devastating to a system like this. You need at least, you really want that 4 wins in a row. Okay, oh. In fact, for this system, a straight losing streak is actually better. Because then you're just losing 1 chip at a time. 19 stands. 14. 15. There you go. Too many. Well, as much as you need to complete the cycle, you do at least need to win 2 in a row. This one. And that's what, that's what these a lot of these systems are set up to take advantage of, is win streaks. 17 stands. 16. 22. All right, now you get to peel a little bit off. 1, 3, 2, 6. Wager of 2, 2. $13 to a 3 stands. 13. 22. Oh, you just might complete the cycle. Let's do it. And then we'll see how how much that gets you back in the game. Again, a win of 2, now you need to bring out 2. So when you won 1, you had to bring out another 1. When you win 2, you have to bring out another 2. This is why it's important to complete the cycle now. You actually would have been, I don't know, better off, but safer if you had just lost that one. But then you wouldn't get to bet 6. Here you go. Maybe you'll get to double down or split. Oh, did I say split? Just why I keep the card here, because it's a little bit tricky with these lower dealer cards here. Pair of 2s, split if you can, or hit. And you can split, so you will. So 1, and I'm going to have to go to colors there. That's okay. This one first. 5. Well, 5 hasn't won. You got to keep going on that. 14 to a 3 stands. Play this hand. 10 to a 3 is a double down. Single card. 20, very nice. 8. 18. So what are we looking at here? This one is a loss. This one is a win. So we'll play there. Size in there, okay? So you can see I'm not cheating you. Okay, good. And even though that that was a loss, how are we going to do that? Well, you know what? That's actually not that hard. It was a loss and 2 wins. So if it was a loss and a single win, we might call that a push, or we would call that a push. That's what we've been doing. But this is a loss and 2 wins. So it's still, I would say, that puts you as a positive, in the positive, that you won. You didn't lose, you didn't push. So if it pushed, I think we'd repeat. If you lost, you would go back to your base unit, a base bet of 1 unit, and win, you would go to base bet of 1 unit. So I think that's what we're doing, since it was definitely not a push. And win or lose, you have completed the cycle. Well, you completed the cycle with a win, so you're going back to a single unit. How's that sound? If you don't agree, you can put it in the comments. But how about this? Only if you like and subscribe. 15 to a 5 stands. 15, 20. Well, good thing you got out of that one. You completed the cycle just in time. Single units. Okay, 10 to a 4, that's pretty obvious. Double down, 1 card. 20. 6. 11. 19. Whew. I hate when that dealer gets the, works out in 11, huh? As long as they bust, or come up with something less than you, who cares? Okay, let's fix these up. Again, that was a single win. This is one opportunity when you get to take 1 back on your way up to progressing to 3 units. Gotta like that. 20 stands. 12. 13. 16. There you go. I don't know. 24. One, 3, 2, 6. Take off those 4. Leave you with a wager of 2, following the pattern. Insurance closed. 13 to an ace, takes a card. 14, keeps hitting. 16, card counters might stop here. I haven't really been paying attention throughout the whole deck, but we are not card counters, not today. We are following basic strategy. So that is a 16 to an ace you need to hit. Too many. 1 too many. And look, if you hadn't hit, again, 21. All right, that's another 10. That is 30 hands, so we're, what's that, 2/3 of the way through. Single unit. Just trying to see who's ahead. The 1, 3, 2, 6 is ahead by a couple of bet units. Was that, if it wasn't for that split and double down, or really was the double down on a 6-unit wager, you'd really be hurting. But that's how this system is designed to work, is that you make up for your losses with an occasional large bet. Did I check? I did. 12 to a 10 takes a card. 16. 25. It's not the name of the game. 21 is the name. Single units. Ace check. Nope. 12 hits. 22 busts. 20. Put those there. Helps me keep track. Single units still. You need to win to advance. 20 stands. 16. Too many. 23. Bringing out another chip. Moving up to 3. Nine to a 5 is a double down. 1, 2, 3 there. Single card. 18. 15. 25. Very nice. 1, 3, 2, 6 will now drop down to 2. Extra credit if you know what the flat better will be betting here. $13 to a 5 stands. Come on. 7, 9, 12. Picture. 13. Perfect. 22. Right? Let's just make sure. 10, 22. Yep. And 1, 3, 2, 6 on that win has to pull out another 2 for a full bet. The last one in the cycle of 6. Good luck. The 8s of spades. Oh no. Well, another chance to split them up. Another chance to make money. This one first. 18 stays. 15 needs a card. Too many. 15. Too many. Okay, so we have a loss and a win overall. That's a push. We're going to repeat the bet. We're going to bring those back off over there, that over there, and One more time. Looking for a win to complete the cycle. Insurance. Insurance closed. No win. Complete the cycle the hard way. Starting over. $11, 2 of 5s, double down, single card, 17. Oops, 11, okay, 14, too many. Whew. Yeah, that's right, I'm on your side. I'm rooting for you. One, 3, 2, 6 gets to keep one, moving up to 3. You see it? There we go. I'm rooting for you to win. I don't know if I'm rooting, you know, on the inside for flat betting to do better than the 1-3-2-6, or for the 1-3-2-6 to do better. I'm undecided, to be honest. Soft 15 takes a card. Hard 15 keeps hitting. 20, 17. I mean, I guess, hold on, 1-3-2-6 moves down to a 2 unit there. I guess I want to believe that there is a way to beat the house advantage. Yeah, so I guess I'm rooting for you, or for the system. I mean, I'm rooting for flat betting too. I want you to beat the house. 12 takes a card. 20, 12, 14, 17. You know, yeah, I want you to win. But you know, I guess really the question is, do I want the system, the 1-3-2-6 to do better than flat betting? By the way, that's another 10. So that's 40 hands. We need to bring out another 2 for the 1-3-2-6. Yeah, so I guess I'm rooting for it because I want to believe that there is a way to beat the house advantage. And why wouldn't we want that, right? All right, Blackjack pays time and a half. So there's 6. Oh, let me do this properly. Size in 6 and 3. Okay, take that away. 17. So there you go. You complete the cycle with a bonus 3 on that blackjack there. That's nice. And drop your bet back down to a single unit. Basically, you're not pressing your luck. You don't keep increasing your wager. Okay, insurance closed. 6, 16, ooh, 22, 17. So whether or not the systems can beat the house advantage, or at least as far as we're trying to beat flat betting, which should represent the house advantage, right? Well, look at that, back to back. I need to buy those quarters, those half units back from you. Thank you. One and a half. One and a half. Take this off. There. Hold on. There. Actually, there. 1-3-2-6 needs to add a chip, or really half a chip, half a unit, getting up to 3. $12 hits. 22. 20. Single units. This is the 45th hand, so we've made our common minimum here. A 13 stands. 12, 20. Oh, the 8 of spades. Most important card in the game is the 8. Look at how that would have helped you. Sorry, I'm just... yeah. Had to look at something. Never mind. I don't want to admit it. I don't want to admit that I was just checking the card to make sure that you were not supposed to hit that 13. And you were not. Well, I don't know why I had to check that. I know that. Everybody knows that. 13 hits. 16 hits again. Too many. Well, now, obviously, not everybody knows that. Have you been in a casino before? People will double down on that. Not you. Not you, of course. Oh, instant winner. No, that's our cut card. So this is what? Hand 47. 19 stands. 17. Okay, here's a situation. I don't think we've run into this with this where, you know, you end the shoe and on a win. How are you going to start the next shoe? You're going to go to 3 as the progression would indicate, or are you going to start over a single unit? That's your call. I always start all over again on a new shoe. I think I consider it a whole new animal, so to speak. Okay, well, I can tell you from a glance that the 1326 did better. Had a couple good wins with the large bets out there, so we'll count them up, and we will start with the flat better. So that's 10, stack of 5 for 25, so 35, 40, 45, 50, that's your base, that's what your initial buy-in was, 5.5. So if this is a $5 table, that's $27.50 that you gained. Okay, not too bad. You know, it's not super great, but it beats being down. Again, we will, you know, put all of this into a tally and do a summary at the end of 7 rounds. 7 shoes, I should say. So that's 10. Oh, that is 5 for 25, so a total of 35 so far. 45, 50, 10, 35, 45, 50. So that's your stake. That's your original buy-in. 5, 10, 15. 2 halves make 16. So flat better up 5.5. 1326 better up by 16. That's a 9.5 unit advantage for the 1326. Quite clearly, 1326 wins. Okay, great. Again, please like and subscribe. Make any comments you'd like that pertain to the game at hand here. And thanks for watching.